Hey everyone, it's Kathy.
And Paul here with iDulting.
We're here to help you navigate the crazy world of adulting.
Because let's be real, it's a wild ride. We'll be dropping tips, sharing stories,
And maybe even spilling some embarrassing secrets along the way.
so get comfortable, grab your favorite drink, get ready to laugh, learn, and level up your adulting game. This is iDulting. Don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe, and share this podcast. Head over to iDulting.com for more information and to submit questions for us about iDulting.
And maybe even pick up some of our new merchandise. And if you know any fellow adults who need some guidance, send them our way.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of iDulting. Today's episode, a few things I want to bring to everyone's attention. We changed the layout of our podcast recording area because we're learning more. So if you notice a difference in the audio, could you guys drop a comment, drop us an email at the website or something?
Yeah, and let us know if it sounds better or worse.
So we have a store off our website at iDulting.com. There's iDulting merchandise, ripe for the picking. Feel free. Today, we're going to venture into a realm that might be a little touchy, might be a little sensitive, and it also overlaps an area that I love talking about, mindset shifts. It's the differences in how wealthy, affluent people think versus middle and low income people. Before we throw shade, before we start polarizing the crowd, that's not what this is about.
And we are not wealthy and affluent, but we're trying.
We're leveling up in pretty much every area of our lives, and we want to bring you with us.
The first thing we're going to talk about is a wealthy and affluent mindset. This mindset is often characterized by long-term strategic thinking and a focus on growth and opportunity.
Let's stress long-term. What would the opposite of that be?
Instant gratification.
And we see it every day. I feel it every day. A prime example from my personal life. How many times do I spend our tax rebate before we get our tax rebate?
I know. Some of the things that come along with a wealthy and affluent mindset are things like focus on growth and investment. Wealthy individuals tend to see money as a tool to generate more money. They focus on investment, building assets, and creating multiple income streams rather than just earning a paycheck.
They focus on long-term planning. The perspective is often a decade or more in the future. They make decisions based on what will build generational wealth, and they are comfortable with short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. What would be an example of that we just discussed last night with one of our children? Very specifically, a grocery delivery gone awry.
Correct. He was very upset that a grocery delivery substituted some items on his list that he was not wanting. Not that they were bad, but it wasn't what he ordered. And I kind of lost it thinking, you're so spoiled. But I backtracked and then I said, I'm sorry, you have a right to feel disappointed, but you have what you have, so make the best of it.
It was definitely a first world issue. I heard Kathy stress that there's been times in our adult lives where we made sacrifices to get to goals.
Right. There have been times I wanted to make chicken and broccoli Alfredo, and the only chicken in our freezer were dinosaur chicken nuggets. So that's what we ate.
Don't throw shade. The dinos are good. Risk tolerance is another area in the mindset of wealthy people. There's a greater willingness to take calculated risks. The mindset is that a failure is a learning opportunity, not a catastrophic event, because they have developed a financial safety net.
And remember, he said calculated risks. He didn't say take your whole paycheck and buy lottery tickets.
Or take your whole paycheck and go to Vegas with it. Although it would be fun.
There's also network and relationships. Relationships are often viewed as a form of social and professional capital. The focus is on networking with people who can provide opportunities, knowledge, and new perspectives.
Riddle me this. I have great fortune, but I've never worked a day in my life. I own many things, but I have no hands. What am I? A trust fund. Ha ha.
Again with the dad jokes.
Problem solving. Affluent people, people who are more patient, more long-term oriented, often change problems as challenges. They turn them into puzzles to be solved, and they are more likely to spend money to save time or solve a problem, seeing it as an investment in efficiency. They recognize that every problem offers the silver lining of a life lesson and the ability to be better next time.
And they also have a different mindset on scarcity versus abundance. The mindset is often one of abundance, believing that resources and opportunities are plentiful and that their success does not come at the expense of others.
How many of those traits do you identify with? Focus on growth and investment, long-term planning, risk tolerance, network and relationships, problem solving, scarcity versus abundance as differences, the focus of a wealthy and affluent person. So how many of those do you identify with?
Me personally, probably growth and investment, but that's a new thought for me. I was always save 10 cents on the bread. I've saved 10 cents and not thinking about my money, earning money until the last few years. And network and relationships.
Let's stop for a second. You just said a key aspect here because it's a change I've discovered also. We're never wealthy, middle class, or low income people, never going to save your way into solving your problems. What I mean by that is that you're never going to cut enough out of your budget to make an appreciable difference unless, in conjunction, you work on the income side.
Right. And I think the other one I identify with is network and relationships. I am a people person. I meet people. I treat everyone the same. There have been times in my life where I was able to help someone out, and there have been times where someone's been able to help me out.
For me, problem solving I identify with. I do tend to see problems as challenges. I enjoy finding my way through them. I do get aggravated with them, but that's normal life. But finding a solution is always a satisfying thing for me. I see both sides of scarcity and abundance because I'm a low-key prepper.
Now, there's also the middle and low income mindset. This mindset is typically focused on short-term stability, security, and managing immediate needs.
Now, that comes from a difference in safety, financial safety and security.
It comes from being broken, feeling broken, worrying about being back in that position.
And we have certainly been there. I'm not going to say we're not there now, but because of our shift in mindset, we've been able to realign things. We're doing things a little bit differently. We're finding more enjoyable things in everyday life rather than always striving for things. But the mindset of short-term stability, security, and managing, I certainly can identify with. For example, when I took the job at the firehouse and took a tremendous pay cut with a brand new family coming along, I could see we needed every dime then.
Of the middle and low income mindset, there are some key terms and key points. One of them is they focus on security and survival. So their primary concern is often about survival and stability. The focus is on paying bills, making ends meet, and protecting what they have.
It lends itself to short-term planning. Planning is often done week to week or month to month, driven by fear of unexpected expenses. It's difficult because you haven't established the pay yourself first mentality. You don't have an emergency fund yet, whether it's because of choice or because you just can't afford it yet. You haven't established that yet. So your planning becomes very short term.
And they have a risk aversion. There's a strong aversion to risk. Taking a chance on a new business or an investment is often seen as too dangerous because the consequences of failure could be financially devastating.
I never fell for that one. I had magnets. I had garage full of toilet paper and soap. I probably should have had that lesson a little more.
Probably.
I even sold life insurance.
And as far as their networking and relationships go, their relationships are often rooted in need for mutual support. Networks are crucial for emotional support and getting through tough times, and the focus is on a close-knit community rather than professional connections.
That right there is huge because it costs nothing. The difference from my research into this between the two different networking is one is a kind of survival tribe, and the other, the wealthy and affluent, are always more service focused.
But it's also about comfortability. You're comfortable with people that are like you and that are in the same social circles as you. It's hard sometimes to get out of your own way and reach out and go after something you thought was unreachable.
One of the things I'm personally working on is the ability to ask for help.
And directions?
No, I'm not doing it. Let's not get crazy. But my previous mindset, I was going to be an island. I was going to do everything myself. I knew everything. I could find out everything. My new mindset is to ask for help, find the people that are better at things. I know it's hard to believe there are people better at things than me, and have them and allow them to help me.
As long as you're micromanaging.
As long as I can micromanage. Absolutely.
There's also a difference in problem solving. So people that are in middle or lower incomes typically solve their problems by spending time and effort and not money. For example, doing a repair yourself rather than hiring a professional. Time is often seen as a more expendable resource than money. When you're more affluent, your time is money.
And an amazing fact about time, no matter where you are on the income spectrum, everyone has the same 24 hours.
These differing mindsets are largely shaped by economical, environmental, and learned behaviors. They're not inherent personality traits, but rather adaptations to different levels of financial security and opportunity.
What are some steps non-wealthy people can take to shift their mindset to one of a wealthy, affluent person and away from that middle and lower income thinking? Remember, the mind goes first. The body and your situation is going to follow. It's like putting the universe in alignment to provide for you.
The first thing they can do is shift their view of money from spending to investing. Stop seeing money as something you just earn and spend. Instead, view it as a tool that you can grow.
You can do that by tracking your spending. First, you need to identify where your money goes. Look for areas where you can save and redirect that money into an investment account, and even small amounts matter.
They can also set up automatic transfers from their checking account to their savings so that they have automated savings. This forces you to pay yourself first, a habit common among wealthy people.
We have stressed to our children the principle of pay yourself first. We have a live economic lab going here. We have one of the four who has done this. I'm pretty sure she has more in the bank than I do. Learn about compounding. Understand the power of compounding interest. The sad part for me is that it took me a long time to understand. No, it didn't take me a long time to understand. It took me a long time to apply compounding interest. I first learned about compounding interest a long time ago in one of those not risk-averse moments of my life when I was out working for a financial planning company. Knew all about it. Could sell water to a fish at that time of my life. All right, not really, but knew all about it. 40 years later, I finally am doing it. Just saying, don't be like me. Learn about compounding and apply it. Just like if you're going to go to the gym to get in better shape, having a membership card doesn't mean you're in better shape. You actually have to go.
Change your relationship with risk from fear to calculated action. Wealthy people are not reckless, but they're comfortable with taking calculated risk because they understand the potential for high rewards. So educate yourself. Learn about different investment options like stocks, bonds, or real estate. The unknown is often scarier than the known.
Start small. You don't need a lot of money to start investing, and it's so easy today. Now, when Kathy and I were growing up, you actually had to go to the bank and bring your passbook and get it all stamped and, fancy stuff. And then we found out you can buy stock right from your cell phone in the living room while you're watching Grey's Anatomy.
And start small. Just take a couple dollars. Take a low risk investment, put a few dollars in it, feel your way around. Let it help you build your confidence in making other investments.
Reframe your failures. Don't think of them as failures or catastrophic losses, but as learning opportunities. For example, we spent a couple $100 because the crypto craze, we missed it. Our children actually said to us one night, wait, you were around before the internet? How are you not rich? There's AOL, there's Microsoft. But we never did any of that. We missed crypto, even though some firefighters, to their credit, were buying it. I was like, yeah, that'll come and go. So we decided to get on the crypto train. We bought based on some Facebook or post or something else about an emerging one, put a couple $100 in. Turns out it was a scam.
It wasn't a scam. It's just really hard to earn any money when the value of the stock is 0.000009.
Oh, you're talking about Shiba.
Mm-hmm.
We're 10 millionaires.
In Shiba's at 0.000009 cents.
Doesn't matter. We're 10 millionaires. So prioritize education and skills. Change your mindset from earning a paycheck to building and adding value. Wealthy individuals often focus on personal growth and acquiring skills that increase their value in the marketplace rather than just waiting for promotion. And the more I read about this and the more I research and listen and talk to people, wealthy also focus on adding value to their interactions with each other, with other people. It's a very common mentality for an affluent person to want to add value even to simple things like going to the store. They take a normal everyday thing and somehow they magically are adding value to it. I'm looking for adding value dust. I haven't found any to sprinkle around, but I will.
Invest in yourself. Spend money and time on courses, certifications, or books that teach you new skills. The return on this investment can be far greater than on any material goods.
Network strategically. Your network is your net worth. Build relationships with people who are knowledgeable, ambitious, and can offer new perspectives and/or opportunities to you. Always be networking. You don't know who's online with you at Quick Check. You don't know who's next to you at the driving range or on the pickleball court or even in traffic. I've actually had conversations because my commute is so wonderful with people in the cars next to me while driving. And I know I could be the star of If You're Becoming Your Parents commercials, but I'm having a good time doing it.
Think like a business owner. Regardless of your job, think about how you can create more value for your company or your clients. This entrepreneurial mindset can lead to new opportunities and a higher income.
Redefine your circle. I want you to think of it right now. Your circle is your comfort zone. Redefine it and make it your growth zone. The way you're going to do that, you're going to find a mentor. Seek out someone who has achieved what you want. They already know how to do it. Instead of trying to figure it out like I would do, like a dope, ask them. Remember, they may want to share and help you along the way.
Seek out ambitious friends. Spend time with people who are building, creating, and thinking big. Their energy and ideas are contagious and can challenge your own limitations. How many times have you heard a story about two guys that knew each other in college? One came up with this great idea, and now they're millionaires.
I don't know. Somebody built a PC in their garage or something.
It happens. Look for those creative minds that are forward thinking.
Little company named Dell, another little company I can think of, Microsoft. How about Starbucks? That started out with a hope and a vision. Practice abundance over scarcity. shift from I can't afford it to how can I afford it? I'm getting back on my soapbox here. The quality of your questions directly impact the quality and creativity of the solutions your mind gives you. Without question, if you can change the quality of your questions, you will change the quality of those answers.
So stop saying, I can't afford that. Start thinking, what steps do I need to take to afford that? And think about it this way. Is this a priority right now?
Another tip is to visualize success. Sounds frou-frou. Sounds like something we don't want to do. I'm a man. I don't need to visualize success. I'll keep banging my head against this wall. But the reality is, sometimes visualizing that success and where you think you're going to go or where you want to go aligns you with the universe, puts things in your way that help you get there. Or what might happen is you might realize, nah, I don't want to be that guy, and change your goals before you spend all that effort getting there. Visualize success, spend time thinking about where you want to end up. It will help keep you motivated, and it'll help you see the future that you're in control of with your finances.
Shifting your mindset is a marathon, not a sprint. The key is to consistently practice these new ways of thinking and acting. You'll find your financial reality will begin to change with it.
The next question that came to mind for me when I was doing research was, what are the key character and value differences between the wealthy, affluent people and their mid to lower income peers? And the answers that popped up were individuals in any economic group are diverse. Doing research and observations suggests that there's certain patterns in the values and the traits that tend to be more prevalent when it comes to different classes. That's why doing the research into the mindset shift became key for me here, because where the mind goes, the body follows. So what are those differences?
One is a relationship with time. They tend to focus on the long term, prioritizing decisions that will yield benefits years or even generations down the line. They view time as valuable, non-renewable. It's an asset to be leveraged for growth, not just spent.
They view education differently. Wealthy and affluent individuals often see education as an investment in professional, personal growth. As that, they view it as a lifelong process of acquiring knowledge, skills, and a network of valuable contacts. Versus middle and lower class, education is often looked at as a way to get to a bigger paycheck. The focus is on achieving a specific certificate or degree to secure immediate employment rather than on continuous learning.
The wealthy typically have a different attitude towards risk. They're generally more willing to take calculated risks.
The attitude that the wealthy have is they'll take those calculated risks. Admittedly, if you're already wealthy or affluent, you have financial network and safety behind you. What we're saying here is take the risk with the investment, a safe, secure, compounding interest investment. Don't be averse to that. And I can give you an example in my own life. I know people who have a tremendous amount of savings, yet own very limited amounts of stock or mutual fund, versus other people I know have a tremendous amount of savings, lots of it in stock and mutual funds, and very limited in bonds. I think if I had to point to an investment vehicle and pick the mentality, bonds are a middle class and mutual funds are probably more the affluent.
Wealthy people also look at problem solving differently. Their problems are often viewed as challenges to be solved with resources. They're more likely to spend money to save time, whether by hiring a professional or investing in a tool to increase efficiency. The middle and lower class look at problems a little differently. They're often addressed by spending time and personal effort. They're more likely to perform repairs themselves, work multiple jobs, and rely on personal connections to solve issues rather than using financial resources.
I'd like to add to that part, because I witnessed a lot of this in my life. I'm going to use the landscaper as an example. Someone taking the time to maintain their lawn for financial reasons, not for pleasure or not for it's their hobby, versus hiring a landscaper. Often what I've witnessed is more is spent on maintenance of equipment, on equipment, Not even mentioning the time involved in doing it. That just in our case, for example, the landscaper wanted, what, $60 a cut? I need to use a ride-on tractor to do our property. How much is that tractor?
$2,600.
How many months could I pay the landscaper?
A shit ton.
I like the term. We like it. Another difference is the concept of resources. The wealthy often identify with the mindset of abundance, where everybody else has the scarcity mindset. That one, we understand, comes from a financial safety net.
And it also comes from your age, where you are in life. Our parents raised us with, you never know where your next meal is going to come from, because we grew up in middle class houses where paycheck to paychecks mattered.
You say middle class. I went to school uphill both ways in the snow.
In a nice middle class family. But there are people that never even thought about it. I grew up in a town that there were a lot of wealthy people, and that wasn't their mindset. We just weren't them. So when we grew up, that was normal. And when we're raising our kids, it was normal for us for a long time too, until we kind of figured out how to change things up.
Let's talk about us for a minute. We aren't wealthy, affluent people. You'd agree with that, right?
Correct.
We are financially in the middle class.
Correct.
We didn't start there.
No, we started broke.
If we looked at income levels versus where we are, when we were starting out, we probably could have got assistance with food and stuff. So how did we make it?
We worked and worked and worked and saved, and then started figuring out how to make our money make money.
Right. I often have a simple formula that I try to impart to my children. We would get to a point where we wanted the nicer car, or we wanted something more. So it was very simple at early ages. If you want more, you have to work more.
Absolutely.
Did we ever work just one job?
Not until, no, I would say I worked one job. When I was young, I always worked more than one job, multiple jobs when I was in college. And not until I became a mom, and my one job was those 4 little nuggets.
Did you hear that? 4 little nuggets were her one job. Kathy worked harder than I worked in multiple jobs for many decades. To all you moms out there, a shout out. Mad respect for you. I now have sort of one job, but here we are. We're in our 50s, right? Do we have side gigs?
We're having a side gig right now.
We are having a side gig right now. Is this our only side gig?
No, last year we did DoorDash and roadie. We did a lot. We were always, and we're currently also selling pickles.
We are selling pickles, which we're finding out a lot about concessions. And that goes back to the mindset shift about learning. We've been selling pickles now for a couple months. Shout out to Pickle Me. It's been a great time. We've met some awesome people, and we found out a ton about concession operations and how the businesses operate. But if you listened in just the last 30 seconds, Kathy and I, between us, and these aren't our only streams of income because I'm a retired firefighter. I have that pension also.
And we both have jobs.
Right. We both have jobs. I have a pension, and we have multiple side gigs going on in our 50s. And that's not unique. We've been doing that since our teens.
Yeah.
We could have a lot more to show for it, but we don't. And I don't regret a day of it because it was all learning. But what we want is for you guys to skip maybe some of the harder parts by just listening to your elders. Doesn't have to be us. There's lots of people out there talking about it.
And remember, if there's one thing you take away from this, pay yourself first. If you need that paycheck to get by, use it to get by, but take 10% off the top before you're using it to get by, and pay yourself. Put it in your savings, put it in investment. It will pay off in the long run.
If you want more stuff, work more. Find a side gig. It's out there. I know it's a challenging job environment. I know employers don't seem to make a lot of sense right now because we watch it. Getting a job where they're like, oh, you'll have full-time hours, and then they schedule you for 20 hours. I get it. But keep at it. Keep going. Get a side gig. You'll get there. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget about our merch store. The holidays are coming up. It's right off iDulting.com. Talk to you on the next episode. Thanks for listening.
Just remember, you've got this, adults. Keep your head up, your spirits high, and keep adulting with us. Go forth and conquer the world, or at least your to-do list.
And don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe. Tell your friends, share the podcast, and head over to iDulting.com for more information and to connect with us. See you on the next episode. Be safe.